Afternoon of crafting here. I had this board. Excuse me, the pollen is crazy here in Virginia and my allergies go a little crazy. So anyways, I have this board here and I'm going to show this to you guys. I'm so excited. I've had this for a little bit of time, and let me show you. Okay, hopefully you guys can see the whole thing. So this board was actually a frame that I found at a thrift store, and it was yellow, bright yellow, with a little bit of tan wood trim around the edge. And then on the inside, it had, I don't even know what the material is, but it was a picture, but it was like that 1970s board. It's not a foam board, it's not plywood, but it's like a plasticky type feeling. Maybe it is like a plywood or something. So what I did was I painted the outside, spray painted the outside. I tried different things, and finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my roots and do my plain Jane thing and do what I know will, go well. Because I kind of liked the yellow, but I couldn't get it to really look great. So, so I decided to spray paint the outside white, and then I did the inside with a chalkboard black paint, spray paint. Both of them were spray paints, so that I could just go basic. And I've been toying with what should I do? Should I, I mean, there's a lot of transfers. I could do something on this large type of a board. But I thought the farm to table and table to soul would be really good, because I've done this transfer, but I've only done half of it. I cut it in half, and I'll show you how I did that. And so I kind of wanted to do the whole thing. So this is going to be a big project. It's going to be a big effort. I hope it goes well. But you know what? That's the great thing about lives. And if it doesn't, then the great thing about Chalk Couture is I can wipe it clean and I can do something else on it. So that's one of the things that I love about Chalk Couture and why I love this product so much. So while we're seeing if anybody is going to join us, oh, is that Caitlin? Did you join me? My girl Caitlin, she was here Friday night. We had a hoot of a time crafting, making some signs for her house and some things. So she's an artist. I call myself a crafter, but she's a true artist. So it's kind of fun. She taught me a few things. I taught her some things about Chalk Couture. We had a good time. So what Chalk Couture is, in a nutshell, if you've never seen my videos or if you're going to watch the replay, is it is a direct sales company. It started about a year ago in July 1st. And we have three main products, okay? So we have Chalkology Paste, okay, which is a chalk-based paste. So it is like, hey Caitlin, it is like a thicker than paint because it is a paste, but it's got chalk in it. And so what happens is, like in a classroom with a chalkboard, you can draw on it and do pretty things, but when you rub your hands across it, it smears. The great thing about this is it adheres like paint. So it's, hey Jamie, how you doing? So it sticks like paint, but it's only permanent for as long as you want it to be. So if I got tired of this farm to table to soul picture that I'm going to do, I just take a disinfectant wipe or some warm water, I wipe it clean, and then I can put something else on it. If I do want to keep it forever, I can just spray polyurethane on it and it makes it permanent. Okay, the second product that we have is ink, and that is permanent. So it's the same concept, but now we can do it on shirts and hats and kitchen towels and whatever we want. And then our third product is our transfers, and they are a little bit different than the stencils that you see in the store, okay? They are silk screen. So as you can see, if I can get the sticky, so I'm sitting here pushing on the F, there's a silk screen there. So what that does is it helps the bleeding. Like when you get stencils in the store, sometimes when you take them home, if you've ever used them, you'll notice that sometimes the ink or paste or whatever you're using, paint, will go up underneath where it's open and it bleeds. And this lets you just if you get all the air bubbles out and everything, will make it a little bit cleaner and crisper. The other great thing is outside of like what a Cricut does or what the stencils do is you can use these 10 to 20 times. If you take care of your transfers, they'll take care of you, as my friend Julie always says, and you can use them over and over and over again. So you get a lot of value out of them. And like I said, that you can mix and match, and there's so much fun stuff that you can do. So what I'm going to do is, because this is so big, and I'm going to go basic, just like I always do. I'm going to do the big words in red, which is a really strong pigment, but that's okay. I'm going to do red. And then all the little stuff, the and symbol and the to in white, okay? And I tried to lay this out a little bit earlier. I don't think I'm going to be able to use the rooster. I might add him later just because I needed about another ½ inch, but that's okay. All right, so what we're going to do is I take my transfer, and what I did was this came as, let me show you guys this, one large transfer. So here's the bottom part, and you can see it curves up. Well, the top part is going to fold on itself. But anyways, this was on top, and this was on the bottom. And because it is so large, I just went ahead and found a spot in between the two words that I could cut it. And it doesn't ruin your transfer. It doesn't hurt it in any way. You just have to make sure that you don't cut around that screen mesh part because that'll tear it. Okay, so let's get started and see if we can make this work. I also took little sticky tabs and tried, that's when I was planning out, so I was trying to figure out spacing wise how much I needed to get the job done. So that's what those little green marks are. So I do have to get this farm word over as far as I can while getting the whole thing in here. Okay, so I have not exceeded that little sticky mark. And what I do is once I get it laid down, I first just take my hands, and I'm just using the farm word right now because I'm going to actually put farm to table at the top, table to soul at the bottom. So again, like I said, you don't have to use these transfers as they're given to you. You can be creative, and that's the great thing about this product that I love is, because I call myself a crafter, is I don't have the prettiest handwriting. I could never do this freehand and make it look good. And so what these transfers allow me to do is to provide a really pretty home decor piece, but I still have to be a little creative and pick out the colors and the layout and the combinations and all that stuff. So I get to be a little crafty and creative in that sense. So you know, I do classes and people will be like, oh, I don't have a creative bone in my body and I'm not artistic. And I'll say, you will be surprised. And it's typically those people that come up with the most beautiful projects. And so I love this product in the sense that it gives people that sense of creativity that they never knew that they really had. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just taking my 4-inch large squeegee and I'm pulling all as much of the air bubbles out as I can. And you guys probably can't hear it, but I'm hearing like these little popping, bubbling sounds, kind of like when you have bubble wrap and you push on it, you can hear that little crackling. So that's the same thing here. And I'm not so worried about the spaces outside of my stencil, or my transfer. Ooh, I've got water bins over here. So I'm not worried, sorry, spatial skills here. I'm not worried about like this area here because there's nothing that the paste is going to go through. What I'm worried about is all these dark areas that you see, because that's the area that the paste is going to go through and go onto my board. So, hi Rochelle, how are you? You guys say hi, like and share. If you share it, I would love that. This would be awesome. So that's what I'm worried about is these dark areas because that's what the paste is going to go through. The other thing that I did was because I did not buy this board through Chalk Couture, they do have boards and accessories and all that stuff that you can buy, is I waxed it. And I typically use a wax that's off the shelf. Chalk Couture does have a wax, but they come in little chapstick size containers. So I just use I use a clear wax. And it's just meant for if you go to any hardware store and ask for a wax as like a precursor to something for painting or whatever, they'll be able to show you where that is. So I use a clear wax. Okay, so I'm pushing this down. Now, because these are chalk based, they do dry kind of quickly, okay? So I don't want my chalk to dry on my transfer. If I do, what's gonna happen is it's gonna stick to the transfer and not so much the board, and it won't look as good, right? I'll have to clean it off and redo it, which is fine, which is another, again, the reason why I love this product is because I am not precise all the time. A lot of times I don't measure. And for people like me, if I can erase or redo or erase a section, that's perfect, because then I get to, you know, cover up my mistakes. So this is what the chalk paste looks like, okay? And we want it to be like a, what do we call it? The marshmallowy fluff, marshmallow fluff, I think is what it is. Consistency, or a yogurt consistency, where it's got some fluidity to it, but it's not runny like an acrylic paint is, okay? So we want some texture to it, as you guys can see, but we don't want it to be completely runny, okay? Because if it's completely runny, then yes, you're going to get some bleeding. So certainly, when you get your paste, and they've reformulated it so that it the consistency is really good. But if it is a little thick, all you have to do is, this is just water. So I just spritz some water in it, and it loosens it up a little bit. And then just mix, 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 mix. Okay, so I'm going to have to move kind of quickly. So normally I try to show you guys the things as I do, as I work it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this whole top section, and then I'll show it to you, because I don't want it to dry on here. And what I'm going to have to do is pull up this transfer and then move the table section over and do that. So yeah, and then I'll do the two after everything. I'll put that in the middle. I want to make sure that the farm and table fit. The two I can place anywhere. That one's not as structured as the other pieces. So what I do, I'm trying to make sure I give myself enough room here. This is kind of exciting. I'll say a little nervous and exciting, because these large transfers are beautiful, but they do take a little bit more patience and attention than some of the smaller ones do. Okay, so I've mixed up my red paste, and I've got 2 tins of water in front of me, mainly because I've got 2 sets of transfers and I want to make sure they fit. What we do is we put everything that we use that we could reuse into these water containers, because we can just wipe them off. Like I said, everything's reusable, so we just wipe them off and reuse them. So I put my transfers in there so the chalk paste doesn't stick to it. Okay, so I have got, this is one of the accessories, is the squeegee. And sometimes I cut it in half, and then I'll even cut it in half again, so in thirds, because depending upon, you know, the farm, I want a large squeegee. But this little 2 right here, it's like this big. I need a smaller squeegee, so I cut them for that. So if you're here, say hi, let me know you're here, show me some emojis or something. It's always weird doing these Facebook Lives. You feel like, you know, people are there, but you feel kind of silly because you're kind of talking to yourself and all that stuff. So, but I appreciate you guys joining me. If you guys have, this is the first time you've ever seen this product and you're interested in it, contact me. I'd be happy to answer any questions I can. And if you're interested in joining the company, because I can tell you, I had no thoughts of that, and I kept watching this stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Okay, so what I do is I put, and you can be as liberal as you want with all of this chalk paste, okay? So, hi Pam, how are you? So what I'm gonna do is, because we're gonna take all the excess and put it right back in the container, so we don't really waste anything. So what I do is I literally dab, and I gotta be careful because there's some other things on this transfer that I don't want to get just yet, but I dab the paste all over the area I want it, okay? And then I put any excess back, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this larger squeegee, because it can cover such a bigger space than anything else I have. Oop, and I've got some air bubbles I didn't get out. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get those really pressed in. We'll see how it goes. As we always say here in Chalk Couture World, it's just chalk. So we can fix whatever mistakes we have. And you can go in any direction, up and down, side to side, you know, whatever you want. And the great thing about this too is I always say I'm a crafter because artists tend to have to be very patient with their crafts sometimes, depending on what it is. And I like instant gratification. And Chalk Couture gives that to me. So, all right. So I'm going to take all this excess that I have on here and put it right back in my container because I can use it. I mean, you guys can see that huge block. It's huge. Okay. So I am going to just set this down and I'm going to pull this up. Yay. It looks good. Okay, I've got a couple of seconds here. It's not that fast, but I'm going to show you guys what the red looked like. Okay, so that's what it looked like. Quick, wang, bang, done. It's awesome. Oh, thanks, Caitlin. I know Caitlin was over here on Friday and I was showing her this board and I was like, I don't know what to do with it. I'm so excited. Okay, so I do see where some of the areas, but this is what's great, is I can take this little Q-tip thingy, get water on it, and clean up any areas. If you guys can see me on your side. Sorry, guys. I am really having technical difficulties today. I bought a new webcam to try to get the quality of the video up, because I noticed on my last ones in my new craft room is they were speckled sometimes and the quality wasn't as good. So I think I don't know what's going on, but hopefully the quality's better at least, and then I'll figure out the other technical difficulties that we're having. So I am so sorry if I lost you. Hopefully you'll join me back. And if not, you'll watch the replay, I hope. Okay, so now I've got this extra, the bottom part of my transfer. And this bottom part I had not used before. So what I did when I took this off of the transfer is I did what we call defuzzing it. Because they come extra sticky, we want to make sure that we actually get some of that stickiness off a little bit. And so, because if it sticks too much, and I've had this happen, if it sticks too much, this blue part, teal, green, whatever you want to call it, can stick to the surface because it's so incredibly sticky. So I did, and to destickify it, defuzzify it, whatever you want to call it, whatever words we come up with in Chalk Couture, is you can put it on your shirt, on your pants, on a towel, or you can take your hands and just rub it across there a little bit too. I did take it across my pants earlier to try to add some fuzziness to it. And, but I'm just doing this with my hands just to make sure because it is uber sticky. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put and table, I'm going to go a little bit in here, not completely, but just slightly offset from the farm. Not much actually, but all right. So the and table here. So I'm going to do the and in white and the two in white, and then table and sole in red. And then there's like a little mixing bowl with a mixing thing. And if I have room, I will put that. And I'll do that in white. Okay, so farm to table. Let me make sure I'm a little off, but from table to sole. Let's make sure that's at the end of the M. I just want to make sure we're going to have enough space because and table to sole. Yes, okay. All right, so and all right. Okay, so for this one, I'll probably do the white and red at the same time because it's kind of as big as the farm was on its own. So hopefully I didn't lose everybody. If you did, let me know you're here. I am so sorry. I had some technical difficulties. But hopefully you'll watch the replay. This is Mia with Chalk with Mia again, in case you're just joining me. So if you are watching a replay, I had technical difficulties and lost my video. So there's a first part of this video in my feed, and you can watch that. Okay, so I've got my white here, and I've got my red here, and they've pretty much been mixed up because we were using them earlier. But the red is such a strong, thick pigment. I am just spraying a little bit of water in it. Okay, so I'm going to push all the air bubbles out that I can. I use my fingers first, and then I go back with a squeegee. All right, so the and is going to be in white. So let's do that really quick. They're about the same size. Normally you want to do the large first because they do dry kind of quickly. And that way, when the smaller pieces are done, you're about to pull it up. When, it doesn't take as long. So you're not so worried about it being sitting there forever. And there's different techniques. Some people do the wet paper towel technique where they'll cover up part of the area that they worked on in a wet paper towel to help keep it moist so that it doesn't dry. Some people will actually, as they're chalking, pull up the transfer as they finish a section, and then that way it doesn't dry on the surface. So that's another way. So there's different ways to get it done, but you do have to be aware of that, and that just takes a little bit of practice. Okay, so now I'm going to do the table. I love this red. It is like a beautiful scarlet red, just bold. And all right, so I take the edge of my squeegee, and it's like buttering bread. That's what my mentor says, like buttering bread. So you run it across just like you're buttering bread, and then I take the edge of it and pull any of the excess off. Because like I said, we just need a thin layer. You don't need a whole lot, almost to the point opaque where you can see your what your transfer words or picture says. And then once you can do that, you're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to pull that section up so that we can see it. Oh, a little bit of the red got in the and. I'll fix that later. Okay, let me lay this down so you guys can see it. And I will fix this later by just going back and laying the and back in. But and table, okay. And table to sole. I love it. It's Earth Day today, so this is kind of appropriate because I thought, you know what? We'll give a little shout out to all those farmers out there. I come from a town of farming, and we gotta love our farmers. Okay, so again, I'm pulling this up just slightly because I don't want what I've already chalked, these areas, to mess up because they're still a little wet. Okay, so farm to table and table to sole. Isn't that the truth? All right, I'm getting all the excess here. And again, the 2 is going to be in white. So I'm going to take my white here. And the sole is going to be in red. Plain Jane. Easy peasy. Sometimes I think less is more. I love color. I love, seeing all different colors. But sometimes I also like doing things very simply. All right, so I'm going to, oops, I got a little free-handed there with the red. Okay, let me do this two-handed here. Hopefully that doesn't stick too much because my red was already a little low, but we are going to literally just splatter this all over and then use that big squeegee. That way it saves me a little bit of time and really gets it in there because I can press and make sure I'm covering my space really well. For the longest time I didn't have the squeegee, and I was like, I don't think I'll need a big squeegee, and nope, Ever since I had it, I'm like, I am so glad I bought this thing. All right, so again, just taking the excess and putting it back in. And got a big chunk of excess down here. Oh, I missed a spot. I'm just working it in an angle to try to get all that excess up. Okay. All right, let's do the reveal. Okay, good. I didn't ruin that top part. Oh, I think I missed a little spot on the S part up here. Let me get that. Because I hadn't really pulled it up too much, I can lay it right back down and get that done. Okay. All right. Yep, fix that right on up. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Oh, I love it. Again, I got a little bit of red in that white, a little bit of white in the red. All right, so now I'm going to try to put this little soup bowl here, and I'm going to do it in white. And I just love it, the little mixing bowl. Since we couldn't have put the rooster on here. And we'll do this in white, like I said. And I'm just going to get all the bubbles out. I need Caitlin. I need my partner in crime here. It's such a big transfer. I need somebody to help me hold it. Okay, so, but we are going to get this done. All right, so I'm going to just drag the white over the areas. Again, butter and bread. I'm putting peanut butter on a sandwich. Whatever you do. Okay, make sure I got all the areas covered. And then I'm pulling all the excess off, putting it right back in the container. Again, if you're watching the replay, I did have another version or a first part of this. I lost my video, so this is the second portion of it. And this is Mia with Chalk with Mia. I'm an independent designer with Chalk Couture. Awesome. Okay, so my little thing went into the L a little bit. I'm going to see if I can fix that. I didn't space it really well enough. But I want to show you guys. Oops. Of course, I wiped my hands right on my pants. All right, so this is the finished product. Farm, and I know the lighting, farm to table and table to soul. I love it. It looks awesome. If you're here, let me know. Show me some emojis, like, share, do something. Let me know you're here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've got a few areas I need to clean up and a few areas I need to fix because I did get them in, I overlaid some areas. So first thing I'm going to do is put my squeegee in here in the water because I want to clean it. Any of my little stirs and my squeegees. And I'm going to cover up my paste. First, I'm going to squirt a little bit of water in there. If you've ever been in construction, you've dealt with drywall or concrete, you know, you put a little water in there. My mentor, her husband gave us that tip, and it works beautifully. Keep some of the moisture in there so we don't lose it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've also got these clay sculpting items, and they've got rubber tips on them, which are kind of nice. So I'm going to get some of the water and clean up a little bit of the areas. Go back to my Q-tip a little bit. And clean them up. That way, it will be perfect. I mean, it's almost there. I mean, it's crazy. And so I have been online with you guys. My other video was about 30 minutes before it cut out. So 42 minutes. And I've been talking you guys through this. I've been talking to you while I'm doing it. All that jazz. And, you know, so this is amazing. I've created this beautiful piece of home decor in, you know, 40 some minutes, but I could have done it probably in 20. on my own. And I will sell this in a boutique. I don't know any other company that has products that allow 3 different streams of revenue. So, so that's why I love Chalk Couture. But I appreciate you guys. If you just enjoy watching craft products and craft projects online, you know I do actually. There's a couple of people I enjoy just watching. It's kind of soothing actually. But I appreciate you guys joining me. And if you ever have any questions, or if you want to just know some more information, then please contact me. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have to the best of my ability. And yeah, I appreciate you guys joining me. So I am, oh, there's comments. How did I not see the comments? It says 2 comments. Hold on. Oh, I've got notification tab. Oh, no. I'm telling you, my internet is so weird today. I can't seem to see comments, and I don't know why. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. You guys are so helpful. Since I can't seem to see comments, isn't that weird? All right, hold on. Let me see video insights, edit post. No, it still says I'm live. And that goes to show you just never know. All right, so I'll see, yeah, the comments. Oh, they say loading. Isn't that weird? 3 comments now. Okay, I'm gonna write one and see if maybe that helps. Hi, I see Brenda. I see you there with thumbs up. Thank you. I can see, when I click the comments, I can see the names. 4 comments. That's probably mine. But it's not showing me. Maybe if I do this. You guys, this is so funny. I'm going to have to respond to the comments afterwards. Don't you just love, oh, there it is. Show us the finished project. Oh, okay. Yay, now I'm seeing it. Sherry, hi. Okay, guys, so I have 2 videos as I go through this because I lost my internet. But this is the finish. So I had this frame. I found this frame, and it was yellow and tan to start with. And so I spray painted the outside white, and then chalkboard spray painted the inside black. And I've done the farm to table, table to soul, very basic and in white. The only thing I didn't put on here was the rooster, just because I did have a little bit of a spacing issue, but very, very basic. And I'm quite bright in here. Let me see if I can turn down the light a little bit and see if you guys can see. Hold on, I'm trying to prop this up so it doesn't fall. All right, hold on, if I go forward. All right, let me see if I can turn down the light a little bit and get some of that shine off of the room. Oh, yep, of course. My luck. Okay, I'm coming back, guys. All right, so maybe that helps just a little bit, but yay! So that's my finished product. I absolutely love this transfer, especially in the area where I live, because farming is a big issue, or a big industry, I should say. And we do have a couple of restaurants around here that do claim the whole, and actually do the farm to table concept, which I know has been a big trend in the last couple of years. So, so I appreciate you guys joining me today, and hopefully you have enjoyed it as well. You never know, I might be back today with another live. It's Sunday. I don't have a whole lot going on for once, and I'm just enjoying my craft room and Chalk Couture. So again, this is Mia with Chalk with Mia, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks, everybody.